to create a space to help you make your way through the world.
I think when you gotta stop living up here, start living down here.
The way to do that is
safe space
for
depravity.
Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary folk. This is a safe space for depravity podcast, and I am your host, Wellington Boyce. And beside me is my other host, or the other host of this podcast,
Quinn Lemieux. You say that like we're announcing a starting lineup for some shitty high school basketball team.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my community service hours up, so I'm thinking about doing that.
That's one of my favorite scenes in The Office, when Ryan comes back from going to jail, and he's talking to Jim, and he's like, I've just been really, trying to make sure that I'm doing my community service and like being an asset to the community. And Jim just goes, court ordered community service though, right? And he's like, that doesn't matter. Yeah, but it kind of does though. And he just walks off. Then he writes his name on the paper like Steve Buscemi. Yeah.
Steve Buscemi from Billy Madison.
Yeah. Hey man. Yeah, no problem. I really appreciate that.
Oh, I haven't even thought about that. Gets off the phone, puts on lipstick, writes up his name. God.
Man, I'm glad I called that guy.
Simple no would have sufficed. Oh man. So how's it going? Didn't even ask. Like we just jumped into some dumb shit. How are you?
I'm good. Trying out some new equipment in a new location. So it's been hell, but it's been fun.
Damn, man, you're always on the move, always on vacation, and always moving and shit.
I don't get a break. If I got paid if I got paid to show up to any of these places, man, I'd be banking. I'm just out here with a mobile podcast set up and a strange look from TSA agents.
What the fuck? Yo, he's wired.
Yeah.
Who do you work for?
It's just going through my bags and just finding like skirting by like all the technical equipment and then just looking in there and be like, I think this is less than the limit for toothpaste. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's not the wires. It's not the wires. It's not anything else. Just making sure that I have an acceptable amount of Crest before I get on this flight.
Just going through your backpack, pulls out the the 8-ounce toothpaste tube, and then like 2 mics, your whole fucking preamp, then a big black dildo, and you're just like, whoa, what? You're worried about the toothpaste?
Yeah. Well,
what's going on?
I just had to make sure you weren't using the toothpaste to hide something else. It's like, listen, this is clearly
this is not proper lubrication, right?
Hey, fucking doctor has sex a lot. Can I please get my bags and go? I can't remember.
Man.
Do you remember that old lady that used to give sex advice on TV?
Yes, Sujo or Dr. Joe Sujo. I'm pretty sure her name is Susan Joe or Joe Susan or something like that.
Yeah, Doctor. Yeah,
Talk sex.
Yeah,
learned a lot. From her.
not to be confused with real sex.
No. Real sex was HBO. Talk sex was on E at like 11 p.m. Saturdays, Sundays, and some Fridays, I think. Yeah. Don't ask me because I was a very curious kid, and that's where I learned mostly about sex was through this old woman putting condoms on dildos and talking about vibrators and cock rings and shit. That was the first time I've ever heard of a cock ring was from a 7-year-old woman on TV. Just like, oh yeah, so at the base of she would have fucking diagrams of that shit, and I'm like, no one's gonna know when I'm starting having sex. No, I'm gonna know all the secrets.
Yeah, as if you're like looking into like Michael Jordan's secret plays or something like that. As if it's
Michael's secret stuff.
Yeah. Which, just like in basketball, it's not really so much about the game plan beforehand. It's a lot more about the in-game execution.
It also takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, accurate. I wouldn't know personally, but I've heard stories.
From the sex or the basketball?
Both. I don't know.
I have no experience. So speaking of sex and putting on condoms, so like I've been having AC like issues like with my air conditioning.
Okay, interesting segue.
Wait for it. So like I've been trying to figure out why it's like stopping, because it's like a drain pan issue. Like it fills up with water and then it's got a sensor and it shuts off, so it doesn't get the electrical bullshit. Blah 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 blah. So I was taking a vacuum and all that shit and like putting it on the pipeline that kind of has water filled in, that I guess it's overflowing into the drain pan. So I've been doing that, and I'm just like, you know what? There's got to be an easier way to do this, because when you put the vacuum over it and take the water up, the water spurts down like on the side. And so I was just like, I got an idea. So I went in my bathroom, went up to my attic, grabbed the vacuum, and I put a condom over it. I sipped a hole at the top of the vacuum or the condom to put over that tiny pipe, because the vacuum hole is bigger. So put it over the tiny pipe and then roll the condom on the vacuum hose. So that way the water is like not seeping out, and it's just straight suction going in. So I'm like, yo, I'm a fucking MacGyver with this shit. So I go, put it on, everything looks straight and all that stuff. Yes, I have lube on my hand from the condom, but like I'm about to just solve all my issues with this AC. I turn the vacuum on. The hose wasn't on suction. It was on blow. So when I turned it on, the condom just went water burst. Water burst. It went everywhere, and yeah, now I'm down to condom. So the idea didn't work.
Not like you have any use for them at the moment anyway. Kind of be like,
true.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, they're going to be expired soon, so I guess.
Kind of like putting your seatbelt on after a crash. I feel like it's gone far enough at this point.
Just all fucking spine hanging out.
Yeah.
Oh man, better put this shit on.
I don't want people thinking I was being reckless.
Shit, let me put this on before the cops come. But yeah, so like that's the current events of my handy dandy housework that's going on.
Did you give it a second shot, or are you still scarred?
Well, the condom broke, so once that happens, you kind of just have to.
You're gonna have a bunch of mini ACs. Gonna have a bunch of fans running around.
Funny thing is, a little bit got on my face, so I was just like, "Oh God!" So a straight money shot.
Yeah, well, that's why they hire professionals for it. They bring their own industrial strength condoms.
Could you imagine if that's like what they do? Have you ever seen an AC guy just fix things, like how they do it? What if it's just like a toolbox of just like sex stuff, and it just works?
What are you doing fraternizing with the help? I'm just kidding. Yeah, kind of.
Oh shit. Yeah, like the whole thing about being an adult now is just like I realize I can fix things myself. So I've got like this whole, now that I'm like becoming a dad, I'm just like, I don't need instructions. Like, I don't know why, but it's just a thing. Like it's somehow a pride thing. It just came over me where I'm like, I could do it. I could do it better than the next person. I don't need I don't need a profession in this. I can just look it up online, which most of the time you can. I mean, I learned how to cook and shit like that.
That's actually, that brings up a good point. My mom said that to me a long time ago. She was like, well, how are you ever going to know how to do something like unless you do it? Like, how would you know how to put up a ceiling fan? And I was like, I'd probably just go to Google and look up how to put a ceiling fan on. She thought that was the funniest thing ever. And now she calls me when she needs her computer set up. So, who's really laughing now? I haven't put up a ceiling fan, but I've had to diagnose 8 computer problems for her in the past month. So,
yeah, but it's like, it's also the words like when you know what you're talking about, like where, oh, I can just Google it, and then you Google it and you know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And then when you do it, someone's just like, you didn't do it right. I read what the fucking professionals were saying online, multiple professionals saying how this works, but it's just like, that's also another thing. It's like, I can do it. I got to believe in myself because these haters out here don't believe I can do handiwork type shit. But
I don't feel the same way as you do about handiwork, but I do feel the same way as you about like computer stuff where like sometimes I'll get questions from my boss, like, how long do you think this will take? And it's like, well, I don't know, because I don't know how to do it. But I was like, if you give me like a week, if you give me like a week to like do a little bit of research and like, push away at this thing, like I'm sure I can get it done. But it's like, I can't sit here and bold-faced lie and say I've done this before. It's like all the answers you need are on some obscure forum page from 8 years ago where some guy named Tim, broke his company's server in half, and you're like, oh, hey, so you just hit like Command Z and then everything goes back to the way it's supposed to be. Thanks, Tim.
Tim the Tool Man Taylor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just like I learned most of it from the last probably 6 years. I learned most of my shit from just reading online, like cooking. I'm one of the best fucking cooks out there, and I learned that through YouTube and shit like that.
Here we go. Boxing, cooking.
I have watched boxing videos, but I'm not saying like I know what to do because I'm not in the action yet. I haven't been in the gym, but I do know a thing or two about boxing, like throwing a feint and shit like that.
Okay, that's a term.
But yeah, like it's just, I don't know. We just live in a world now where it's just, like I said last episode, everything's at our fingertips, where you can just literally teach yourself anything.
Yeah,
and
accurate.
You don't have to, and most times you don't have to pay for it. Sure, there's some things you want to pay for, but like a cooking class, I would do it just because, like I like cooking. But like a sushi class or something like that, yes, you need to take a fucking class with that. But everything in life is just, I don't know, it's just there on the internet, and you can teach yourself literally everything. And the books too. You can just grab a regular book from Books A Million and be like, I'm gonna learn myself today.
Yeah, this is this is exactly like a modern updated conversation of Good Will Hunting. No, what I'm going to be embarrassed about is that, or what you should be embarrassed about is that you spent $100,000 on an education that you could have got for 75 cents in late fees at the local library. It's like, okay. And the guy's point is like, yeah, but at least I'll have a job. And then Matt Damon's like, well, at least I won't be unoriginal. Well, congratulations. You'll be the smartest guy doing not shit for the longest period of time. Like, I understand the point that you're trying to make, but guess what? It's like Kanye's first album. Nah, but at the end of the day, you got your degrees to keep you warm. But like the opposite. Like, hey, congratulations. You're so smart. Here's an award. I came down from Fucksville to come give you an award for how many books you read at the local library. You can't get a job anywhere, but here, I got you a big old certificate that said you're the mayor of Fucksville.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah, your ceiling is going to be going around to every local bar on trivia night and winning a fucking $50 bar tab that you can drink and go get drunk and fall asleep and forget about how much you could have achieved if you would have just sucked it up and quit being an asshole. Anyway,
You sound very strongly about this. Like I was gonna just let you take the floor with that.
it's just a weird.
Also,
it's just a
never seen
weird-
Good Will Hunting.
Oh, okay. Well,
I got
spoiler.
the references and shit, but like I've never seen it. Just wanted to say that. I
Yeah,
see. I'm the
no.
kind of person that doesn't have to see a movie and still get a reference because it's easy.
I'm the type of person who is online a lot. You could just say it like that. I spend a lot of time on the internet.
It's not even that. Like I even before internet, like I would get a Pulp Fiction reference. Say what again, motherfucker? Like before I saw Pulp Fiction, I knew references. Training Day, new references. Didn't see Training Day till 2016.
That movie, that's
Fucking dope. It's dope.
when you see Malibu's Most Wanted before you see Training Day, your whole world gets a little fucked up. There were too many kids running around making fun of Jamie Kennedy in that movie and not understanding where it came from, me included.
King he got shit on me.
Some wild shit. Also, speaking of wild ass things, how far are you in The Wire? I feel like I just want to put this on wax for everybody because I'm so excited for this.
So I'm like episode 2 or 3 of season 2, but I knocked out season 1 within a day and a half at work. It was like the easiest work week I've had, and I don't think that'll ever happen too often. But like I just had enough time to just watch probably 4 episodes a day,
Yeah.
and I just knocked it out. I worked like a double on Tuesday, so I watched The Wire all day.
Yeah. So for anybody watching that wants to hop into a show, do it. It's worth it. And I have a lot of love for The Sopranos. And The Sopranos is the best.
It makes me want to
TV
go back to watching The Sopranos, though. I will say that.
So the best way I've heard it described is that like The Sopranos is the best TV show about a person, and The Wire is the best show about a group of people. So like one is psychology and the other one is sociology. And I think that like, and you'll get more into it as you'll see, and you'll understand my point a little bit more. But the one cool thing, and I don't think I've talked about it here, but I have talked about it previously, is I think it's in the first season, the basketball game.
Yeah. East Side versus West Side. Yeah, that was
Right.
like episode 10.
So interesting little tidbit here. So that show came out in early 2000s, like 2001, 2002.
I'd say
somewhere around there.
because they were talking about 9/11. Yeah.
So comes out around that time. When I was coming up in high school, there was like the same time like Hoop Mixtape was getting super big, like that type of stuff. There was a kid, and so to date myself, this must have been like 2012, 2013. So like 12 years after the show gets made, there was a kid named Nikhil Carr, and from Baltimore, and he would just show out, like had one of the better hoop mixtapes of his day, and was like 5'6", and everybody used to come out to watch him play. So many people came out to watch him play. He got the nickname the Crime Stopper. And the reason that's so dope is because The Wire exhibits that exact same thing about Baltimore 12 years before this kid actually got it. And they talk about it specifically about how basketball will take all the action off the corners because they need to go see. And to me, I know that it has nothing to do with when the show aired, but it shows me exactly how much that dude knows about Baltimore. Like that's not pretend stuff. Like he was right a decade ahead.
You see all the cops are like, what? You see all the cops ask like, yo, where is everybody? Yo, where the streets are clean right now. What's going on? It's a dead zone. And then they find out everybody's at the park and everybody's hooping and shit like that. Yeah, that's kind of dope though, to be that guy, like Crime Stopper, like where people take dope dealers and all the bad shit that's going on, taking time out of their day just to watch the game. That's crazy.
I mean,
that's dope.
Yeah,
though.
and it's super. I mean, I think the show stands on its own, but it really, to me, just proves how good how good they are about. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I just gotta find Buddy Old Pal's name. David Simon. Gotta just give a huge shout out to David Simon for again making The Wire. But I thought that was one of the coolest parts in that show after watching it, 15 years after it came out.
Yeah. So speaking of gang shit, like gang related stuff. So the other day I was driving home like after work on the highway. I'm just casually going. It's late, and at some point traffic starts hitting, but it's not like a heavy traffic. It's just like, okay, there's cars like that are stopping, and then we start going again to where it's like free flowing traffic, and then out of nowhere I'm pulling off the exit, and these two cars that are going side by side, mind you, it's one lane exit, but they're going side by side. Not everybody's going to get off at one point. So I'm like, I'm driving back to give someone space to drop back before someone act like they're playing chicken. Then all of a sudden I see a nigga just hop out the window, start banging. I mean,
and for the audio listeners, he's talking about throwing signs, not shooting. Yeah, not shooting.
Yeah. Not yet. But no, there's no shooting. But niggas just start throwing gang signs at each other from the window, going 65 on 75. And I'm like, what? And then the other person, driver's side, so the driver, I guess the passenger was holding the wheel, comes out and starts banging back at them. Or I'm just like, in my car, it's almost 12 a.m. I'm like, huh, would you look at that? That is the most wild, actively gang shit I've ever seen in my life, aside from living in LA and walking by these niggas. But in Atlanta, I was just like, y'all could cause an actual accident, causing multiple people to die because one person doesn't want to get over.
What if they were just two deaf people yelling at each other?
That's the end of today's podcast.
Maybe they got a case of road rage and just decided to start letting the other one know about it.
Fuck you! You are such a piece of shit. Oh, God. I'm sorry.
I mean, who's to say? Who's to say? I feel like we're jumping the gun here and assuming that they're affiliated.
Well, I wouldn't know because I don't know ASL. So I know gang signs. I know throwing up signs and shit like that, but I don't know ASL. So I could be wrong. But at the same time,
what if gang signs are just slang for ASL?
Tread lightly, you motherfucker. Tread fucking lightly.
Imagine like gang signs are just ASL slang. Like the first dude to ever like start in the Crips was just like hard of hearing, and he was just like, listen, I'm a real one, but I need to be able to communicate across street corners to show other real ones that I'm also a real one. But if he yells at me, I'm not going to be able to yell back. So let me just move my hands in a specific way and teach everybody how to communicate with me because I'm the realest one. Just something to think about.
In my head, I was trying to come up with his name, like OG, and then I just started thinking of like, I don't know, something. I can't. I don't want to say it, so I'm not going to say it.
Yeah. Otherwise, you get in a situation with Theo Vaughn where the one deaf kid in his community, used to get beat up for doing bad magic. They didn't realize it was sign language. So they kept waiting for him to like pull a rabbit out of something, but he was just trying to sign to them to talk, but they thought he was doing magic tricks.
This not today, Satan. Not today. I feel tested, and I am not laughing. I'm not laughing. I'm not entertaining this bullshit. I'm sorry. I need a second. Oh man. Shit. This is a safe space for Depravity Podcast, but you know,
look, I'm not saying it was.
If I'm,
I'm not saying it was or it wasn't. I'm just saying, like, there are other things. There are other things that we need to think about here.
There's factors. We just got to take it into consideration that maybe just people that use ASL are banging as well. But
yeah, this is what Republicans do when they see a white person murder with a gun.
Oh my god.
Well, how do you know? How do you know?
Yeah, just like, well,
are you positive?
Well, are you sure about that? Maybe he suffers from some kind of anxiety and depression.
Maybe he has some type of muscle disorder within his hands. You don't know.
He was just a 30-year-old kid, man. You got to give him a break.
Yeah, just little baby. Didn't even know his name yet.
Didn't even know his name.
His name's Michael. He's 25 and owns 8 guns. I think he knows what's going on out here.
He's very self-aware.
I said this
works a job at the mill.
I said this last time, but I have just been absolutely consumed by police interrogation vids still. It's still going on. And I just want to say that we have to, like, I don't know where and when, but we have to do a deep dive on some of this stuff because it is. I watched one yesterday about this guy, this YouTuber, who became convinced that he was akin to the girl from Danny Phantom, and that her soul was trapped inside of him, and then he.
This a YouTuber?
Yeah, like a YouTuber from a while back. And then he went and did a mass shooting, all because he wanted to get released to his cartoon spirit. It was super weird.
Oh.
Yep.
That's not how that works. None of that.
Yeah.
Wait. I can't get out of this cartoon. Nigga, what? What the fuck?
I'll send you the link after this, or maybe I'll post it in the YouTube description for anybody that wants to go see this. But it was an incredible ride. Very disturbing, but a very interesting ride.
So, like, speaking of, like, social media people, which this is far left from whatever you were talking about, but you sent me that guy who does, I don't even know if it's advice, because it's yeah. I do want to dive into that. I don't even know if it's advice.
Hold on. Before we do, if this gets picked up, I want to give credit where credit's due, and it's from a TikToker named Boopy Schmurda on TikTok. She was like, I found this page and I've been laughing at this guy for the past 45 minutes. So I'm not going to get convicted of stealing content. Based Incel or Boopy Schmurda are the 2 TikToks she has. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. So anyways, for y'all that are just kind of what the fuck are you guys referring to, there's a TikToker, and I don't know his name. I can't think of his name right now, but he's on there talking like alpha male, not even alpha male, but it's just like he's giving
red pill stuff.
Yeah, like he's giving advice to men specifically on like red flags that this girl's or she's not the one. One, if she doesn't eat right. If she's not working out and she's not eating right, how's that going to benefit you, man? You want your girl, you want to be attracted to the person. So you want an attractive person that's going to eat healthy and all that. Number 2, if she has an OnlyFans is not for the girl that you want to take home to your mom. Mind you, he's doing this with a fucking lisp and colored contacts. It's a light-skinned black dude, and he's doing it with the lisp, and like it's a noticeable. It's crazy, but he's just like, how am I supposed to take you seriously when you're telling me how to be the man's man and get the girls, when you here talking like this, my guy, like how the fuck you, stupid little bitch. I want to fight him.
The other, like, and just to paint this picture, it was stuff like now listen, like, if one of the keys to not getting stuck in the friend zone, don't ever give a girl anything besides sexual attention. Don't allow that to become something that you accept within your relationships. Also, do not pay for another woman's meal unless you are having sex with her. Like, it was like, oh my God, dude, you are. But his whole
the way he stops the friend zone thing though, it's like the one rule to get out of or not be a friend zone: never be her friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Dude, and I'm telling you, it's these type of things that lead to two outcomes. No, not really two outcomes, just one outcome. You just create more incels. Like, period. If anybody follows that advice, they will never achieve not being an incel. It is some of the worst advice you could give another human being. I'll give you a great tip if you'd like to meet women. Treat them like people. It does wonders for your ability to relate to not only women, also humans. Just treat them like a person.
His name is High Value Essentials. He's a light-skinned dude that wears colored contacts with a lisp, who gets his eyebrows done, and he works out a lot. If you see it, I'm spot on. So I'm gonna play a little clip of how ridiculous this man is. Okay. Yeah, here's a friend zone one.
How to get out of the friend zone. Number one is going to be tell the woman that you will not accept friendship is on the table. Either you guys will be intimate or nothing.
Tell the woman you will not accept friendship. What? Are you fucking kidding me? How do you not have friends? Hey, I don't want to be your friend, but I want to fuck you.
It sounds like ironic post-marriage tips. How to be a good husband. Number one, if you meet a woman, tell them you will not be friends. You have a wife at home. You don't need more friends. Your wife is your best friend.
Why women hate the nice guy.
Why women hate the nice guy. Number one, he's not being genuinely nice. He's being nice in a manipulating way to get something in return from women, usually their love, affection, or intimacy.
That's
Number
accurate.
Two, he puts women on a pedestal. He makes women his
Also
number one
accurate.
priority above everything else. Number three, he is in his feminine frame, not his masculine frame. As a result, women tend to take on that leadership position throughout the relationship. Women do not want to be in this position. Last but not least, number four, he lacks options with women, so he develops one-itis from the scarcity mentality. Do not be.
Okay, so here's the funny thing. I agreed with 50% of that. The thing is,
you're on his side?
No.
You're on his side, my guy?
No, I think he's got the diagnosis right. The treatment is just all-time bad. Hey, listen, turns out you have cancer, and there's kind of two things we do about that. We can go out and stick you in radiation, and you can die, or we could slowly treat it and see if we can make it better. Option three, we can just throw you off a bridge. Like, we all see what the problem is, and then he's just like, well, listen, have you ever thought about telling the cancer that you're a man?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like,
have you ever just thought about telling cancer, no, I'm standing my ground?
Yeah. No, I don't think that diagnosis was that terrible, except for 50% of it. But I think he's like, oh, they don't want the nice guy because they're not being genuine. What you need to do is tell them that you won't accept friendship. What? Hold on. Wait a tick.
Well, my thing is, how
do
do
not
you
be nice to women unless you are trying to have sex? Like,
don't show them any respect because they like the bad guy. Because obviously, like I just said, nice guys finish last. They don't get the girls because they have limited options.
These are traits of a red-pilled Sigma male.
Oh, you got to add the lisp too, because this is the option. I can't even lisp like.
Yeah, that dude.
Nice guys.
That dude is a clown. Just
Amongst
again,
men.
here's the thing, man. It's just got to be so. The grift is so good these days. Like the grift is so good. Like you think about it between Republicans and incels, like there's so much money. Like there's so much money, man.
It's just making me want to just do it. Just fun.
Grift a little bit. Yeah. Honestly,
makes a quick buck.
Honestly, anybody that's like making content online that's not a part of the grift like deserves their own medal because like there's so much crowdfunding of just bad decisions that you can have and you choose not to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there's like, have you been seeing that new trend, the smash or pass on like YouTube? Oh, it's not even a new trend. It's just like this guy from Florida. He's been getting a group of people, boys and girls, in a room and going down the line. Like, I mean, 20.
Oh, they're doing it in
side.
person.
In person, smash. Oh no, you ugly, you tall, you fat, you short, pass, like shit like that, like straight up roasting the people's faces. And it's worse because when you see the girls, like there was one episode or one clip that I saw where it was a dark-skinned girl and these are all niggas. And he goes to the dark-skinned girl and he's like, nah, you too dark. But it was more than just one. It was about 7 of them that all said, nah, you ain't my type. You too dark. This, that, such and such. Beautiful girl. Beautiful fucking girl. But these fucking goddamn idiots are just like out here just like, you too dark. Your mom's dark, you dumb bitch. Your sister is dark, you stupid cunt. Your auntie, your grandma, all the fucking women in your goddamn life are dark. You dumb buffoon.
You're such a normie.
I just hate that shit, bro. It's like it doesn't make sense because but the thing is, this shit's getting views. This shit's got like 1 million views already. This kid's been putting out these videos for the past like month and a half or two of like boxing in Florida. Random niggas just showing up to parks and boxing each other. Not even organized like fighting, just boxing each other, and these smash or pass videos. And they're booming on TikTok and YouTube. And it's insane that you get money for humiliating people.
Like I said, man, the grift right now is too good. The grift's way too good right now.
Oh man. I mean, some days I think about it just to kind of like, hey, this would be real nice to put in my son's college fund just to sell out real quick and have a terrible ideology and post it on the internet and possibly get fired from my job because I sound like a dumbass. But you know what? I'd be making my ends.
Yeah. I don't know if they're like lifetime fat or if they're like, I could do this for 10 years, invest it, and then like I can go get another job. The problem is you get a little too lost in the sauce on a grift, then you got to stay in the grift for the rest of your life. Like take anybody that was in the Trump administration. Now listen, whether you believe in it or not, they're just kind of tied to it now. So like their things are like other news channels or like Fox News and OAN and like other right wing. Like you can't come back out of the grift because nobody from the other side wants you anymore. So it's you just got to be the grift now.
Mm-hmm. Which I could only assume like it's putting people in depression if that's not you and you're just doing it just to get that buck, like, and you're stuck. You're literally stuck because you chose something and you chose wrong. The price was wrong, my guy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, accurate.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like it's just.
The devil doesn't come in a horn with a pitchfork. It comes as everything you've ever wanted.
The devil comes, period.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Speaking of okay, that's plenty. Speaking of grifts and other things, like I was telling you about this before, and this isn't so much a grift as it is like, I don't know, just the internet going wild again. But I'll tell you about the situation since you said you hadn't heard about it. So Rachel Nichols is a host and sideline reporter for ESPN. And last year in the finals, last year in the finals during COVID, ESPN called her and they were like, "Hey, we want you to come. It's in your contract. You have to work the finals." And she's like, "All right, cool. Like whatever. I'll come down to the bubble and work the finals. Whatever you need me to do." So they call her down. They get her in Florida, and then I don't remember if they decided that they were going to put her on the sideline instead of hosting, or if they kicked her off of sideline reporting duty. Something happened where whatever was in her contract, she wasn't able to do, or ESPN told her, "Hey, you're not going to do this. You're going to do something else." So they were in the car going somewhere, and somebody had left a video camera on and captured her basically saying, like, listen, like, it went to a black ESPN reporter, a girl, and she was like, listen, I think, she deserved, or what'd she say? She said something along the lines of like, listen, I deserve this. It's in my contract. Like, she, doesn't deserve, or she says something along the lines of like, I'm happy for her. I know ESPN has a terrible record with diversity, but like, this is what this is. It's in my contract. It's not in her contract. Like, I deserve to be doing this. Like, something along the lines of like, she shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that was on a left-on video camera, and all the video cameras go straight to ESPN's video server. So it goes to ESPN's video server. Somebody sees it. Somebody tells somebody else about it. Somebody comes in and records it before they delete it off the server, and then it gets leaked to the New York Times this year.
Yeah,
and everybody's like, yeah, and everybody's like, well, like Rachel Nichols like deserves to be fired, like taking off this stuff, and it's like, I understand it's a touchy subject, but not a public comment. It was a leaked comment of somebody venting frustration about flying across the country to be told you got to come to work, and then they say, hey,
not really work.
Yeah, your position got filled, and not only that, you don't get to go like do the job that we put in your contract that you had to do and get sent home. And so I understand, and she should definitely apologize, but like, somebody's leaked frustration comments and her saying like, yeah, this is a move that allows ESPN to like say that they are not as shitty as they usually are on diversity, whether it be women or people of color, is like like ESPN hasn't come out for one or the other. Because if they come out for Maria Taylor, the woman who replaced her, then they're basically saying, all right, well, fuck Rachel Nichols. We're not going to work with her anymore. But if they come out for Rachel Nichols, they'd be like, yeah, we do have shitty diversity like within, our network. Yeah. So like, I just, I guess I say
ESPN's
all this
probably going to just stay
ESPN.
Quiet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
but like, fuck ESPN. Fuck ESPN.
But at this point, ESPN is dying. ESPN is dying though. Like,
I mean, they're a terrible. I mean, they're a terrible organization, but it just cracks me up that like they get called out straight to their face and then just like decide to punish the person, or like decide to like not comment on it at all and just like let the public feast on it, rather than like, okay, like we understand both sides of this. It's a difficult subject. Like we could have done better about like whatever. They just say, fuck it. You know what? Let's just let everybody get torched in the comments.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I get where she's coming from. Maybe I just need to hear the audio, because if there's like malice in her tone, then maybe I'm like, ooh, I know what she meant by that. But it seems like she's just kind of saying, poking a jab at ESPN rather than the actual other girl, because if she said it like, oh, I'm happy for her and all that, but like, this is more my job because it is my contract and I'm just frustrated on that, then yeah, I get it. But if there's like an actual like, oh, of course they get it, give it to, was she black?
Yeah, she was black.
Okay, like, oh, we got to give it to the black girl, like, yeah, geez, ESPN. Then I'm like, okay,
I think
off with her.
Yeah,
but I don't think so, because she's, I'm gonna say something dumb. She's always seemed like a nice girl. She always seemed like a nice lady.
No, I mean, I think it's just one of those things where she was like frustrated that it was anybody. But
yeah,
then,
yeah.
but then she like looks at the situation and she's like, why would this happen? And then they're like, oh, ESPN's got to cover their ass. Of course, like this is going to be the result of that. Like all of a sudden, they try to fix something. They try to like put a Band-Aid on this by saying, ooh, like look at what we're doing to plug it in, rather than saying, okay, let's make sure we have everything in line to make sure this is a sustainable change and not
especially during 2020 where race shit was starting to come up like
that's exactly
company. Yeah, it's like companies
that's exactly
during
what she mentioned.
Yeah, it's like companies during Pride Month where it's just like they don't give a fuck about gay people, but here they are throwing their banners. What is it, gay fishing or something like that? They give it a term, but like pretty much just like, oh hey, we love y'all, buy our shit. Like that's pretty much ESPN was doing, and so I get where she would be frustrated. But I also need to hear the audio to hear that tonality of like, ooh, I don't like the way you said that. So I can be triggered. So I can be another triggered individual, black individual.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just reads so much more like ESPN was trying to like show out or something, rather than like, oh yeah, we need to come like figure out what to do with Rachel Nichols, and it's like there's no way. I think she even says like somewhere in there that she like has a lot of respect for her as a journalist, like in leaked audio. It's like, come on, like not after, like during the same conversation. We're like, oh yeah, it's just so dumb to me. It's like, get mad at ESPN, get mad at ESPN for putting two people that have nothing to do with each other in this situation.
But isn't Rachel Nichols the one, like, aren't the people also saying like her and Jimmy Butler hooked up or something? Like, in the bubble last year? That's so crazy. And my guy, Jimmy Butler, I see you, and I respect it.
Yeah, so that theory is super, super light, but it is funny as fuck. So when he was leaving the Timberwolves, there was a story he did with Rachel Nichols, and he was like, "Listen, I took the third string and I went out and beat the starters. Like I was not gonna play with. I can't win with them Cavs, like whatever it was." And so
I think I've seen that clip. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, gets shipped off to Philly, then eventually gets shipped off to Miami. They're in the bubble, and he's running a coffee business. With inside the bubble, like $20 per cup of coffee. Like he's the only one that has like a good espresso maker, like in the entire bubble. So he's like charging charging crazy amounts for coffee. So he kept getting noise complaints to his room. And the thing about the bubble is like nobody could come in and out. So like there was one person on one of the teams that got
he got kicked out.
He got kicked out for bringing a girl into the bubble.
Yeah.
But obviously all the reporters and everybody else is cleared and stuff like that. So he got like 2 or 3 noise complaints about like in his room. And they were like, yo, Jimmy, like, what are you doing in there? And one of the stories was like he came out drenched in sweat, and he's like, I was just dribbling a basketball in here.
Dribbling her fucking basketball is good. God damn.
Yeah, so like that's the whole theory, is that like Rachel Nichols got a really like weird exclusive interview with them, but then like later in the bubble he's getting noise complaints for bumping. Like I don't know, it was super funny, but it fucking killed me.
That's crazy because she low key she gives me off like that Snow Bunny vibe. I don't know why. I don't know. But she seems like the type that would refer to herself as a snow bunny in like behind closed doors. But I'm just like, oh, okay, I see you. But like, I need to hear how you actually talk. Because if she's like that, then no, she's unattractive immediately. I hate that. I hate white women. Hey, listen, white women that refer to yourselves as pogs, snow bunnies, woodies, and shit like that. It's not cool. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's disgusting. Also, Queen of Spades. Fuck you. Fuck you. Well, it's terrible. Fetishizing black folks, black men is disgusting. You're disgusting. Look in the mirror. Gather all your shit. Get it together. Just get it to fucking together. No snow bunnies around here. It's an anti-snow bunny environment. It's a safe space for depravity, but fuck that kind of depravity in this world. I'm sorry. Well, you know, like what's worse than snow bunnies is sloth bunnies.
What?
Like you, okay, there's like two different kind of like you've never heard the two different groups. You got like snow bunnies and slaw bunnies.
I've never heard this term before.
You've never heard of it.
No.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
We're from Florida, and you've heard of snow bunny,
Yeah.
and you've never heard of slaw bunnies.
No, I haven't. Do you want to explain it, or are you just going to keep silencing it up?
Are you gonna ask what it is?
Okay. No, I'm not, actually.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Okay,
Nope.
then don't ask.
Okay, good.
Don't fucking ask. If you
Good.
don't know what it is, do I have to explain it?
No.
Okay.
I'd actually prefer you didn't.
Why?
I was this close, Wally. I was this close.
Yeah, I was just like, come on, just fucking say.
It was so close until you got angry with me. And then I was like, know what? I'm not going to ask. Just out of respect for myself, I'm not going to ask. And then I said it again in my head, and I was like, no. Something's coming. Well played, though. Well played.
Slaw bunnies nuts, bitch.
Yep.
I want to pull you. God damn. I'm gonna have to get you next time.
That was close. That was close.
I'm working my ass off in overtime with this shit. Oh man. Oh fuck. I'm sweating over here because I was just like, I got him.
That was close. That was very close.
You're just like, no, what is? I was like, please ask me what are slaw bunnies.
Too
man.
fast.
You are. And also that whole talk about Rachel Nichols being a snow bunny, I was just talking out of my ass so I could fish him with that one.
So
He
close.
doesn't
It
give
was
me
all,
that kind of vibe, but the message after that, it still stands.
you should
But
see.
fuck
You
it.
should see who she's married to. He looks like.
He's a white dude?
Yeah, he looks like.
Whack.
He looks like the villain from Spy Kids.
Oh, the guy who plays. Wait, which villain? It's Mike.
I don't know. He's got
There's
big
three
hair.
movies.
He's got big hair. Whichever one had big hair.
Mr. Like the Flukes guy. Oh, here he is. Rachel.
You tell me what I mean, because I don't know how to explain it. But he looks like a villain, but I don't know of what villain.
He looks like Quentin Tarantino. Like just
Okay.
like if Guy Fieri and Quentin Tarantino like had a kid.
God, that's so accurate. That's so accurate. Me looking back and thinking about it.
He looks like Quentin Tarantino and Guy Fieri like had a kid, and jeez, that's who she's with.
Yep.
Trash.
Long time too.
Tragic.
Yeah.
Oh wait, he's cool with. Wait, hold on. Oh, he's Jewish. Okay. He's in a picture with Miles Teller and Kid Cudi. So, those I don't know how that happened.
Yeah. Do you know where we're at on time? I can't see. I've only got one screen.
I can't see. We're at 53.
Nice.
Yeah, we're at 53. So, how you feel? You got anything else to say?
Well, you know, I don't have anything else off the top of my head. We've covered a lot of weird niches today.
Yeah, we went all over the place for for an episode of having actual shit written down. Went very all over the place. But yeah, so we got to close this out.
We could talk about Black Widow coming out tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna go see it.
I am going to go see it.
Actually, now that I keep thinking about it, like I just don't want to drive 25 minutes to go see a movie in theaters on premiere night in the middle of a pandemic when I can just watch it at home. So I may just rather buy it on Disney Plus and just do it tonight. But yeah, I don't really care. Even before the pandemic, I wasn't going to go see Black Widow in theaters because it was just the one Marvel movie. I hate her. I hate Scarlett Johansson a little bit, but like I hate Black Widow as a character, and it just doesn't seem important enough for me to go watch. Like
I wouldn't unless I got invited, and I got invited, so here I am. But I'm just curious to see how Florence Pugh does in an action movie.
that too. I want to see that. I want to see Red Guardian too. In there, David Harbour's character. That's it. Because he's like the Russian Captain America. Yeah, no,
Captain Comrade,
Captain Boris,
Igor and Igor.
Earn.
I'm telling you, they cast so many Baltimore locals for that. It is, I just love that video. Is so perfect because he's like, wait, we actually sound like that.
He's like, we talk like that. Hey, read it. Aaron earned the iron earned.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, it says earn.
Earn. Hey, man, you ain't saying it right, man. Say it. Earn. But also, like last night, I was going on a tangent about Baltimore people because watching The Wire, it's for those that don't know, it takes place in Baltimore, or how they say Baltimore. They don't have that current. I was like, The Wire, except it's the current like accent / language of Baltimore, because these niggas speak in cursive. These niggas speak like, oh, say Monday, say Tuesday, like what?
Tuesday.
Say two, say blue, say avenue. Like these niggas literally say that shit.
It sounds
say
like
Mountain Dew. Like what?
It sounds like the closest thing to like what colonial English used to sound
Exactly.
like, but just like been caught up for like 250 years.
But the thing is, like that accent wasn't there, and then it just happened in the last 20 years.
Nah,
like,
I mean,
that shit's wild. Baltimore people, if you're listening, y'all's accent is
we'll
the
send
Scottish,
help.
Y'all are the Scottish people of America, like what the Scottish are to like the UK, because the accent is unreal. Like it's just completely different than how other Americans dialects and accents are.
It's not a true
Because y'all be making shit up. Have you seen the barber video of the Baltimore barber?
No.
It's like, oh, you got a Philly chewed up tits on. It's fucking insane. And you got the T on it, and you got a ladder. Literally, I'm not stuttering. He's speaking like that. And like, oh yeah, you're trying to get the love. Like, bro, it is insane.
This episode is going to be unclippable. It's just us screaming into the mic for 55 minutes.
It is insane how the Baltimore people talk. Exercise no pickles.
And the pickles. Sweet and sour sauce all over my body.
Sweet and sour sauce all over my pussy.
All right, we got to get out of here. We've offended too many people.
All right, because we're at 58. All right, Quinn, where can they find you?
Quinn Tweets on Twitter and Instagram, and Safe Space for Depravity Pod on TikTok.
You can find me on all social media platforms at Wellington Boyce. That's TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. What's the other one? Instagram, Facebook,
Nice.
everywhere. It's all Wellington Boyce. And you can find these episodes on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram at Safe Space for Depravity Pod and TikTok to find our highlight clips that haven't been posted in about 8 weeks. So tune into that, because there's going to be an influx of highlight clips that are coming soon, very soon, from the last 6 episodes that I've been working on.
Something like that.
Something like that. I got
All right.
time today. If I don't go see Black Widow.
Okay. All right. Later, guys.
Fuck are you?
Bye.